So lads, I just looked at the Fever schedule. It is hell. Like, the Fever might have one of the weirdest schedules I have ever seen. Like, they genuinely have a gap. Like, if you look at this schedule, it's actually mad. So, they play a 5-game road trip with 5 games in 8 days, ending on a back-to-back to like near the end of the season. Thankfully, Dallas, Chicago, Toronto are in that. Thankfully.
The WNBA schedule for Caitlin Clark and the Fever has been released, revealing an absolute nightmare. Forget smooth sailing, this brutal gauntlet is unlike anything analysts have witnessed. A recent expert dissection starkly illuminated the entire grim reality, exposing a schedule so bizarre and punishing, it genuinely compels the question: is Clark being set up for failure? This isn't merely a tough season. It's a strategic puzzle box of hidden traps, exposing the league's baffling decisions, thrusting the biggest rookie star into the deepest end. Fans are utterly unprepared for this stark reality.
End of the season. Thankfully, Dallas, Chicago, Toronto are in that. Thankfully. But, like, that is hell. Not only that, like, they have the most back-to-backs in the league. They play Wednesday the 8th, Thursday the 9th. And what about that being back-to-back? It is back-to-back with travel. Not a home back-to-back, a back-to-back with travel. So they play all those games. And I understand they front-load their home games. They have 4 home games in the first 5. I get that. But they've got 3 back-to-backs on the year. Nobody else has that many. I think New York, sorry.
Consider the brutal reality. 5 road games in just 8 days, climaxing with a back-to-back. A relentless gauntlet of travel, minimal recovery, and immediate high-stakes matchups awaits. This exhausting start threatens to shatter momentum before it even forms, forcing Clark and the Fever to summon profound resilience right from day one. It's no gentle introduction to professional play. Rather, a baptism by fire that would test even battle-hardened veterans. The sheer physical demands of this opening stretch are immense, portending
against Chicago. But I just have a weird feeling. Like, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to keep predicting Chicago to beat Indiana. Because every single time I predict Chicago to beat Indiana, I'm not joking when I say this. The only time I've ever predicted Indiana to beat Chicago. And it's, as a Leeds fan, it's one of those ones where it's like, when you're expected to win, you lose. Like, if you guys don't know, last season, I predicted the Fever's record within 1. I think the Fever were 24-20. Every single game I predicted, I had predicted the Fever to go 23-21 on the season. And I predicted, I think it was 38 of the games wrong. Like, it's like nearly statistically impossible to be as bad at predicting as I was. I predicted 10 games wrong in a row.
And the dire situation escalates further. The Fever reportedly confront an unparalleled schedule, facing the league's most back-to-back games. Crucially, these aren't comfortable home-and-home matchups. Many demand immediate travel in between. Consider playing a grueling game, instantly boarding a plane, landing in a new city, then hitting the court again in less than 24 hours. This unprecedented logistical strain imposes an extreme layer of physical exhaustion and profound mental pressure that no other team will endure with such relentless frequency. It's a definitive recipe for burnout.
Predicted the Fever's record within 1. I think the Fever were 24-20. Every single game I predicted, I had predicted the Fever to go 23-21 on the season. And I predicted, I think it was 38 of the games wrong. Like, it's like nearly statistically impossible to be as bad at predicting as I was. I predicted 10 games wrong in a row. Like, because the Fever just kept losing to bottom feeders and beating the best teams in the league. It was the weirdest shit ever. Like, they go out and lose to fucking Connecticut and then, or be in a dogfight with Connecticut and then go and beat Vegas by 30. It was mad shit. Like, what the Fever were doing last year. It was just power of friendship. They were winning. I don't know.
An egregious WNBA calendar anomaly burdens the Fever. 3 distinct back-to-backs, unparalleled league-wide. No other team faces such a brutal, relentless itinerary. This is beyond coincidence. It's a clear competitive detriment, betraying disregard for player welfare and balanced competition. How can any team consistently peak under such unprecedented physical strain? The glaring scheduling disparity uniquely disadvantages Indiana.
Losing to bottom feeders and beating the best teams in the league. It was the weirdest shit ever. Like, they go out and lose to fucking Connecticut and then, or be in a dogfight with Connecticut and then go and beat Vegas by 30. It was mad shit. Like, what the Fever were doing last year. It was just power of friendship. They were winning. I don't know. They just played their asses off, and they just caught teams when teams weren't fully locked in. They caught them last year. That was the big thing with the Fever, is that they caught teams when they thought, anytime a team thought they had beaten the Fever before going out, the Fever beat them. But if you look at this schedule again, so right here, from June the 4th to June the 24th, they played 10 games.
Among season oddities, an analyst revealed a startling personal jinx. Whenever he forecasts Chicago to defeat the Fever, his prediction invariably fails. This isn't chance. It's a stark statistical anomaly within his model, profoundly underscoring the Fever's historically erratic, enigmatic performance. Such an inexplicable hex speaks volumes about this team's confounding essence, rendering true anticipation of their game outcomes futile. This injects an electrifying layer of intrigue and chaos into the season, as truly...
If you look at this schedule again, so right here, from June the 4th to June the 24th, they played 10 games. They play 10 games from the 4th to the 24th. Not only, like, at least some of them are home. But, like, and at least the big positive is that they're on the East Coast for all those games. But they play 10 games in 20 days. And then over the next 2 weeks, they play 2 games. They play 2 games between the 24th to the 8th of July. They play the Sparks and they play Vegas.
Last season, an analyst remarkably predicted the Fever's final record within 1 game, a truly impressive feat. However, he then admitted to 38 individual game mispredictions, labeling it statistically impossible to be so bad, yet incredibly close to the season total. This wild inconsistency reflects the Fever's baffling tendency, losing to bottom feeders one night, then absolutely dominating top-tier teams like Vegas by 30 points. Their subsequent performance was a true roller coaster.
They play 2 games between the 24th to the 8th of July. They play the Sparks and they play Vegas. And this is an All-Star weekend. I was like, when is All-Star weekend? This is really weird. They literally play. And is there something on? Like, I need to check so I just need to just check the schedule of a different team to see, are there any games being played at this time? Yes, there are. Are there? Yeah. Well, you got Chicago.
The analysis credits last year's tumultuous Fever wins to a potent team synergy, indicating they simply outplayed opponents by exploiting their moments of disengagement. They flourished defying low expectations, conquering teams that either underestimated their prowess or presumed victory was already assured. This unpredictable underdog dynamic presents a precarious duality for Caitlin Clark's inaugural season. It makes them dangerous, yet also prone to unexpected missteps. Sustained consistency will be their pivotal challenge.
The 27th. Yeah, sorry, they play the 27th. So yeah, they just have a week off for no reason. They literally just have 7 days off for no reason at all. Do they? Oh no, there must be something, because I'm looking, the Sparks have a week off as well. The Sparks have a week off in the middle of June. Why is there a week off in the middle of June? Is it like World Cup qualifiers or something? Because it does appear that there is a week off in the middle of June. Or say in the middle of, or say end of June, start of July. Yeah, from the 28th to the, 3rd to the 7th.
The true crucible of the Fever's upcoming season isn't just their formidable opponents, but the very structure of their WNBA schedule, a logistical labyrinth that promises to be as challenging as any on-court matchup. The mid-season period in particular emerges as a stark testament to this design flaw. From June 4th to June 24th, the team faces an astonishing gauntlet, 10 games crammed into a mere 20 days. This relentless pace translates to a game every other day for 3 grueling weeks straight. While the geographical silver lining of East Coast matchups somewhat mitigates cross-country travel fatigue, the sheer, unyielding volume of competition within such a hyper-condensed timeframe is nothing short of brutal. It's a stretch engineered to test the absolute limits of physical conditioning, mental resilience, and team depth, offering virtually no margin for error or precious recovery. Yet immediately following this punishing sprint, the schedule takes a baffling detour into what can only be described as strategic incoherence. The Fever, having just endured 10 contests in 20 days, are then slated to play only 2 games in the subsequent 2 weeks, from June 24th to July 8th. This bizarre, almost violent pendulum swing from extreme intensity to near-complete inactivity defies rational explanation. Why such a stark, disruptive contrast? It speaks to a scheduling department seemingly intent on creating a disruptive feast or famine scenario, a pattern inherently detrimental to a team's hard-won rhythm, conditioning, and momentum. It's an inexplicable decision that challenges the very notion of fair play. Within this peculiar 2-week lull, the Fever are granted a full 7 days of complete inactivity, a week without games. Analysts scrutinizing other teams' calendars noted that even the LA Sparks share a similar, unexplained mid-June hiatus. This widespread break hints at a potential league-wide pause, perhaps earmarked for international qualifiers or an as-yet-unannounced mid-season interlude. However, its perplexing placement, immediately after a period of intense overload and before another likely demanding stretch, remains deeply puzzling. Why couldn't this invaluable downtime be strategically reallocated to alleviate other, more punishing segments of the schedule? The overarching question hovering over this entire WNBA fixture list is one of fundamental logic and equitable distribution. The collective lament of analysts rings clear. Surely a more balanced approach could have been forged. The extreme density of games, abruptly followed by prolonged periods of rest, feels profoundly inefficient and strategically unsound, fostering a disjointed stop-and-start rhythm that actively obstructs momentum building. This unevenness places an unnecessary and potentially detrimental burden on player health, team cohesion, and ultimately, the optimization of a season for a generational talent like Clark. On a slightly more optimistic note, the season's conclusion offers a potential strategic advantage: a final game against Minnesota. This matchup, according to analysts, presents an ideal scenario. Late in the season, teams might find themselves either definitively out of playoff contention or securely locked into their playoff seeding. Such circumstances often lead to star players being benched, potentially offering the Fever a more favorable opponent to cap their season on a high note or secure a crucial must-win victory if playoff aspirations are still within reach. History indeed bolsters this theory. Last year, the Minnesota Lynx famously opted to rest their entire starting lineup against the Fever in a late-season encounter. This precedent strongly suggests that if the Lynx are either comfortably positioned or entirely out of the postseason race, they may once again choose to preserve their key assets. While it by no means guarantees a win, it provides a crucial glimmer of hope that the Fever could avoid confronting a fully loaded, playoff-bound Titan in their final competitive outing. A small but significant silver lining amidst the scheduling chaos. Beyond the Fever's immediate challenges, broader insights into the competitive landscape have emerged. Connecticut, for instance, is being quietly touted as a dark horse playoff contender. With promising talents like Lekin and Aaliyah Edwards under astute coaching, they are anticipated to be a strong, if not brilliant, unit. Their potential playoff berth would certainly not surprise seasoned observers, highlighting the broader competitive shifts and the unexpected challenges Caitlin Clark will encounter. Even teams not traditionally categorized as powerhouses will present formidable resistance. Every game will demand a relentless fight. The LA Sparks are also projected to be legitimately good next year, a significant leap. The inherent allure of playing in Los Angeles consistently attracts top-tier talent, and with key players such as Nneka Ogwumike and Kelsey Plum potentially anchoring their roster, they will undoubtedly be a formidable opponent. This means the Fever's clashes against the Sparks will be anything but easy, adding more high-stakes matchups to an already demanding calendar. Clark will quickly discover there are no easy nights in the WNBA, especially against revamped and talent-laden rosters. Perhaps the most daunting stretch, a period one analyst unequivocally labels hell, spans from June 22nd to July 22nd. This brutal month-long marathon features a relentless string of matchups against bona fide powerhouses: Phoenix, LA, Vegas, LA again, Phoenix, Vegas, Golden State, Seattle, and New York. It is, by any measure, a murderer's row of opponents, many of whom will likely be contending for championship honors. Successfully navigating this brutal gauntlet will demand nothing less than peak performance, unwavering resilience, and exceptional strategic execution from Caitlin Clark and her teammates. However, a potential period of relative calm, almost a cakewalk, exists for the Fever in the month of May. With initial games against rebuilding teams like Washington, a potentially retooling Seattle, and the expansion team Portland, the Fever have a critical, early-season opportunity to build crucial momentum and secure vital wins. Should they fail to capitalize on this comparatively less challenging opening, it could signal deeper systemic problems, rendering the subsequent hellish stretches even more insurmountable. May is therefore absolutely crucial for establishing their season's trajectory and confidence. The league landscape itself is undergoing significant flux. Teams like Seattle appear poised to enter a full rebuild, potentially allowing stars such as Mecca Agumik and Skylar Digging-Smith to depart. Portland, as an expansion franchise, will naturally be finding its competitive footing. Conversely, Golden State is projected to be a genuinely strong contender. These dynamic shifts mean the Fever will face a complex mix of vulnerable and formidable opponents, necessitating constant adaptation to diverse playstyles and evolving team strengths. The WNBA is in a state of profound transition, and the Fever must expertly navigate its every ripple. The analyst's final assessment of the schedule is unequivocal: pure madness. He underscores the sheer absurdity of oscillating between intensely packed periods like 10 games in 20 days, only to then be met with inexplicable 6-day or 8-day breaks. This profoundly uneven distribution of games makes no logical sense, actively hindering the development of consistent rhythm and cohesion. It's a schedule that appears almost deliberately designed to be difficult, challenging teams not merely with the caliber of their opponents, but with the very illogical, disjointed structure of their competitive season, a true logistical puzzle of unprecedented proportions. So as Caitlin Clark steels herself for her rookie WNBA season, her ultimate adversary is not solely her on-court rivals, but the WNBA itself. This hellish and arguably the weirdest schedule ever conceived, with its punishing back-to-backs, bizarrely protracted breaks, and relentless stretches of elite competition, will test her grit, her resilience, her leadership, and her strategic acumen like nothing she has encountered before. The league has meticulously laid out an unprecedented path, and how Clark and the Fever manage to navigate this chaotic, unpredictable journey will ultimately define their inaugural season, and perhaps even shape her nascent